I had a little FaceTime date last night with a guy I met on a dating app, and it went terribly, so let's talk about it. I'm gonna give a brief backstory about this guy, though. We met maybe like 4 or 5 days ago. We went on a very quick, brief date on Sunday.
Hey, welcome back, Motivation Nation. It's your host, Sarah Gordon. This young lady has a story time for us, and we're going to do what we do on this channel. We're going to react. So let's just jump right into it. We're not going to waste no time.
I had a little FaceTime date last night with a guy I met on a dating app, and it went terribly, so let's talk about it. I'm going to give a brief backstory about this guy, though. We met maybe like 4 or 5 days ago. We went on a very quick, brief date on Sunday, literally about an hour. I was not that impressed to begin with, but I was like, I'm not sure. I don't feel sparks flying, but it's also not a definite no. It was just kind of like, I'm not sure. The day after that date, we were texting a little bit. He sent me a voice memo talking about how after we left our date, there were a lot of things that were on his mind. I asked him to elaborate. He said, what dating me would look like. Would we get married? Would we have kids? And things like, what are our love languages? What are our communication styles? He really emphasized the fact that he values good and strong communication. He's like, but I think these are conversations that we should have like over the phone or in person. And also, we met on Sunday and he was leaving town for 2 weeks. So really the only communication we can have is over the phone for the next 2 weeks. In that same voice memo, he's like, I wanted to see if we could FaceTime tomorrow. This was Monday. If we could FaceTime tomorrow. I respond to everything in his voice memo in a text when I had time a couple hours later. And I was like, I ended it with, yes, we can FaceTime tomorrow. I will be free after I put my kids to bed. Tuesday rolls around. We do not FaceTime. He never mentions it again on Tuesday at all, actually. And so we go about our day. Yesterday, he texts me and says, would you be available for a FaceTime call? I'm like, sure. We get on FaceTime. The first thing I notice about him is that he is so doomy and gloomy. So we get on FaceTime. He has this negative energy about him. I'm trying to pick up the energy a little bit. I'm like, hey, are you okay? Like, your energy seems a little bit low. He's like, yeah, I'm just tired. I had a long, terrible day. So I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry that you had a long day. I was like, what was the highlight of your day? Tell me something good that happened to you today. I think that, we should all be able to find something good in our day. Whatever. So I'm trying to break the ice. He tells me that he went golfing, whatever it was. So then I'm like, hey, I have a question for you. And he immediately goes, oh God, I feel like I'm about to be interrogated. Mind you, I'm talking to him just like I'm talking to this camera. Okay. I'm like, I have a question. I want to ask you a question. He's like, what's the question? I'm like, you mentioned in your voice note that you really value good communication, and I'm just curious, what's your communication style? What does that mean to you? What does that look like for you? I think that is a perfectly normal and honestly a very intentional question, because he mentioned that it was important to him. I brought it up so that I could make sure that I am aligned with him on that. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Immediate defense mode. Immediate. He's like, why are you interrogating me? I don't like this. He was like, I don't have to check in that much. I feel like you should be understanding that I have stuff going on, which I haven't even said anything about my perspective at this point at all.
Okay, let's stop right here. Okay. Yeah, this guy is obviously dealing with some issues. And if I was giving her advice on this, it doesn't really sound like she's really that interested. She doesn't want to rule it out. And I understand why, because she's trying to open herself up to something new. But this guy has already told you that he wants to have a FaceTime call. First of all, he said he's big on communications. He's big on communication, and he wants to communicate a lot with the person that he's interested in. Well, he asked you to do a FaceTime call, and he blew that off and didn't address it. So we know one thing, he doesn't keep his word. So he's already showing you who he is. So I think, and now you're asking him simple questions based on what he says is important to him. And now he feels like there is an interrogation going on. And uh, if his version of communication is just him talking at you and you only being able to listen, this guy's a maniac and you need to run for the hills immediately, because he says that he likes to communicate, but as soon as you try to communicate, he says that you're interrogating him. No, ma'am. Get out of there. But let me let you finish. Yeah, this guy here is off his rocker and you need to exit as soon as possible.
He's like, you should be able to understand and respect the fact that I have a busy schedule. I said, I do understand that. I haven't set any expectations. He says, I feel like you are setting expectations about what communication should be like. And, we don't even know each other like that. Defense mode. Immediately. I'm taken all the way aback. I'm like, whoa, what just happened here? He really did not like that question. I said, I'm just asking this question so that I can make sure everyone feels respected and comfortable in this dynamic, whatever that looks like. I don't have any expectations of you at all. Again, I just want to make sure that we are aligned. You are comfortable. I am comfortable. This 40-year-old man.
Hold on, let me stop you there. We do have an expectation. And that's for you to be truthful, be honest, and be a man of your word. So that is the expectation. So, if I'm giving her advice, we got to have a baseline. There is an expectation. Truth and being a man of your word. And right now, he's not that. But I understand why you're trying to keep it open, because you're trying to not put the pressure on him since he all of a sudden feels attacked and interrogated. You're just trying to have a conversation with him. But no, we got an expectation, man. Be a man of your word. If you say you're going to call. If you're not going to call, make sure you let somebody know. Don't just tell me you're going to do something and then don't do it. And then that's the end of it. And then you don't even address it.
I don't like the vibe of this conversation, and I think I'm just going to go. I said, oh, well, your feelings are valid. Have a lovely evening. And I really thought that was a really wild interaction. He texted me today and said, hey, I wanted to apologize. I was not my best self yesterday, and I hope you understand. And you know what? I do understand that, but I don't think that you should be having to explain that to me after like 4 days of knowing each other. So I also understand that I don't really want anything to do with you anymore. I had a little face.
Well, hopefully he understands that that there will be a block going on his number moving forward, because he's completely out of bounds. He is completely out of bounds after only knowing someone for 4 days. And this is why, she has a standard and she kind of soften those standards to try to give this individual a chance. But sometimes you got to go with your first mind. Her first mind told her, the first date was quick. She didn't really like it. Just go ahead and go with your first mind sometimes and cut some of these people off. That's why I'm a proponent of having a short list of things that you want to know right off the top when you meet someone, almost like a prerequisite for really getting to know someone. And if they're not able to answer these questions in the way that you like, and it's not an interrogation, it's just something very conversational that's very important to you that you have a conversation with somebody about. And if they don't answer those questions in the manner that you're looking for, you don't even go past that stage. There's no need to proceed forward with being anything as a romantic situation. You can classify them as associates and or potential friends, but you know that that's someone that you can't be in a relationship with based on the way that they answer those questions. And like I said, it's not an interrogation style. It's just conversational, but these are things that are important to you. But anyway, jump down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this story. Do you think she was right? Do you think she was wrong? Do you agree with her? You agree with the guy? What do you guys think? Let me know your opinion on this. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out.